Well, hi, and welcome to my shop, and here we go on the next thing. This is an Electrohome TR-50 console, AM FM stereo machine of some dimension. So, of course, you wouldn't normally see that. This is normally what you would see. This is in a lot of consoles, and this is normally facing downward. It's not up like you see here. It's normally facing downward. And here's its brother. No, not my cell phone. The record player that goes with it is a Dual 1009. And guess what? This is exactly the stereo my parents had when I was a teenager in the early 70s. This exact guy. And in combination with the speakers, and I think they had some slave amps also in their console, it was dynamite. It was great sounding. So best sounding stereo of any of my buddies. Of course, it was my parents' console in the living room. I couldn't really use it, but so up until this moment, all I've ever seen is just the top here. But now, here's the insides of it. Here's the other part. Now, what I'm doing is I'm checking it out, making sure everything's working properly. And I think that's going to be pretty challenging. I have no reason to think it's not going to work, but who knows? Looks like it's in great shape, actually. But I don't have a schematic for it, at least not yet. So what we're going to focus on first is the turntable. Okay. Yeah, it's really kind of cool to see this again. It does. You know, I'm around all this old stuff all the time, but a lot of it I'm seeing for the first time. So in that sense, it's not old, it's new to me. This one actually has some memories associated with it. So, yeah. Feels good. I shouldn't have pushed that. Let's plug it in. I got a cheater cord here for it. Mine has the proper connector on it. And this is a surprisingly heavy record player. It's really surprising. Most of these duals that look like this are pretty light, and frankly they're a little bit flimsy in a sense, but man, this is a brute. And put that in there. And look at that, that's a whopper of a motor. I've never seen one quite like that. So, it doesn't look like I can get any bearings. So let's hope it's in good shape. Actually, just at a glance here, lubrication doesn't look too bad. Interesting. Yeah, that appears to be quite lubricated. You know, the further along in time these things get, the more impressive it is. And when I say these things, what I'm talking about are fragile things like this. You know, the arm, various parts that are quite fragile. And something like this can make it through a lot of time inside a console or something like that, where it's really protected. And so it can appear, you know, in 2013 in this kind of condition. This is probably from 2000, probably from about 1970, 1971, something like that. Okay, let's plug it in. And I'll have it on current restriction to start. And yeah, I thought it might start up. Boom, boom. Jimmy. Hey, it's just like being a kid again. I seem to remember doing similar things. Okay, spinning very nicely. This is working, this is in great shape. So far. Oh, maybe not so far. Doesn't want to pick up on the far end. Let's take a look at the cartridge here. No needle. So unless a needle appears somewhere, taped in here somehow, I haven't seen one, I won't be listening to this. Yeah, that's exactly the same. Exactly the same connection that I remember. Unusual sort of connection. Okay, well, there's not going to be too much we can do. Oh yeah, we're going to figure out what's going on with this. Doesn't find the end of the record. Let's try this. Do that. Should come in about here. Yeah, I think that's okay. There we go. Very good. Try 7-inch. Back to 12-inch. There we go. Let's check the speed on this. Oh boy. I'm stuck again with the problem of the light. I'll have to rig something up here. Something a little better than what I'm doing right now. something's happening. Doesn't seem to stick in manual. There's no needle there to worry about anyway. Ah, right. Exactly as I remember it. Here's my test light here. Wow, that's right on the money. Right on the money. Excellent. Well, not much more to do this. Turntable. Wow, this works better than mine worked. Let's see, 1974. I had trouble with it. So that's really something. But it does need a needle, perhaps even a cartridge. We can check the cartridge. Okay, so let's see if we can determine if the cartridge is working on here or not. And my problem in my shop here is I no longer have a regular stereo you can plug a cartridge of this sort into. It's actually quite a challenge here in my shop to see if it's working, but I think I can do it with my signal tracer. Something I don't use it too much. It's nothing more than an amplifier. So, but I think we might be able to tell. Well, if it works, we'll know. If it doesn't work, we won't be sure. I think that's kind of how this will end up. Let's put this heavy guy, ooh, right over here. Oh, it's rolling on the platter. Stand still for me. Let's pull the power plug out of it. So I don't need any power to do this. And let's make sure the amp's working here. Yep. Yep. Okay. So we're just going to clip right on the outputs here from the cartridge. This looks like ground here. What do we got going there? And a wire hardly looks soldered there. I think that's the ground. Now I'm going to have to, let's use a clip lead here. Like most humans, I only have two hands, so. Okay, let's turn it up here because we're a low signal. Now I think even though there's no needle, if I can tap the cartridge, the sensitive part of the cartridge, we should be able to hear something. Well, that's not quite what I wanted to hear. Okay, so I'd say the cartridge is good. I mean, that's about as the best I can do in here. And with no needle, I mean, you really can't test it on a record. At least it won't do very well on a record without a needle. So that's the end of that test. And what, did I have this aimed up too high the whole time I did that? I apologize for my bad camera work, if that's the case. But anyway, so our real focus is, what about this guy? And I gotta get some information here. Just looking on the back of them, I gotta get some information to figure out where to hook up the speakers in that. So these are the output transistors down here, and it looks to me like this is the speaker output plug here. Off of these large capacitors that are all back here. A couple of them have X's marked on the top of them too. Got me as to what that means. Here's a letter P. I don't know what that means. Probably means nothing. So I don't really want to try this out, like poke around until I get some information, but I can only look for so long, and if I can't find anything about it, it looks to be in great shape, so I'm not too afraid to switch it on. And it looks like a pretty easy unit to work on, really. Yeah. Parts are not all jumbled on top of each other. It's laid out pretty nice. Oh, I guess I don't need to listen to that buzz anymore. So, great. Uh-oh. 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 What's that? That looks bad to me. Not terrible, but not good. Is there another one like it? No. Yeah, see, that's why I need the schematic. I gotta find out what that is. And these don't look very good down here either. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's just that kind of like a paint or a coating that's cracked or what. But so we'll check it out. So thanks for watching the check out of all this stuff and the turntable checkout, which turns out to be really good. I kind of miss this turntable. Yeah, it's a dandy. Okay, see you later.